Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Janardhan ji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam.
Hare Krishna. All well?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Planning to go, not planning, I have booked my ticket for that Kumbh Mela on February organized by ISKCON, Prabhu. At least at this old age, before before I can't walk, I should do it, Prabhuji. At least one chance has come, Prabhu.
Yes, very good.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Once in a lifetime event. And this is a Mahakumbh, what is happening?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very good.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Amath family, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You are coming for Kumbh?
No. But
No.
we are planning to go to this Mayapur.
Okay, when?
January 20th.
20th.
Oh, very good. Please do.
Through ISKCON only.
Through ISKCON only.
Yes.
Mayapur, Puri also? Jagannath Puri?
No,
We had been to Jagannath. Yeah.
Only Mayapur, huh? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Mayapur and ISKCON in the
Navadvip and all those
Navadvip
things.
and all that.
5
Yeah,
days.
5
5
days.
days.
Mayapur comes in Navadvip only.
Yeah.
So,
One of the dvip.
one of the Dvipas is Antardvipa, that is where Mayapur is. Very good.
Yeah. And Prabhuji,
Study.
this Jayanti, Gita Jayanti, happy to inform you, we managed to sell this thing, Gita books.
How many years?
10 books.
Wow, excellent.
And one more I ordered.
Yeah, so nice.
In different languages, yes.
Good. So you will be getting the benefit of that.
Hare
You reading
Krishna.
Bhagavad Gita, you will also benefit.
Yes.
If somebody is going to read Bhagavad Gita, you will get that benefit.
Yes.
See how it is. Spiritual benefit. Huh? Very good. Continue doing it. Very nice.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Gupta ji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
How are you?
Absolutely fine, sab theek thak hai.
Very good. You are planning to go for Kumbh?
Oh no, I've been there when I was a child.
Acha, okay. So we are organizing from ISKCON group, Vrindavan and Bangalore and all. We are setting up, we are trying to planning to have Annadan for 20,000 people every day.
Wonderful.
Okay. And also distribution of free Dona Prasadam for at least, that also around 20,000 people. So like this,
Great.
huge arrangements we are doing. Anyway, live will be possible. We'll see.
If possible, I'll try to visit.
Sure. Maybe February towards the end must be fine if you can plan that way. Because January,
right.
January will be a little hectic. February will be fine, I think. Okay.
We'll try.
Okay. Shobha ji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Welcome. Dear Krishna Prabhu, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So let's begin. And today our target is to, by Lord's mercy, we'll seek His blessings that we'll try to complete the chapter 10.
Yes.
Okay. Chapter 10. Very nice chapter, wonderful chapter. Okay, let's begin with prayers to Prabhupada and Lord Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra ki jai Shri Shri Nitai Gauranga ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. So we've been discussing about chapter 10 known as Vibhuti Yoga, the opulence of the Absolute, since last 5 sessions, and today will be the concluding session. In this chapter, Krishna is describing his vibhutis. Vibhuti means his various opulent manifestations. As Krishna concludes this chapter, We're telling that whatever beautiful, glorious, mighty creations are only a spark of his splendor. Right? Splendor means glorious, his glory, his greatness. So most beautiful, most glorious, most mighty things, whatever we see in and around us, Krishna is describing here. Around 80 such descriptions he gives. We have completed 50% of it. We'll try to start from verse number 32 onwards today. So Arjuna was specifically wanting to know about Krishna's various manifestations like this in this creation. Why? Because he wanted to help all of us who are not right now Krishna conscious to bring us the platform of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada says this is how a Vaishnava thinks. A Vaishnava is not only worried about his devotion to Krishna, but he is very much wanting to see that everybody is coming along in the path of Krishna consciousness. Right? So, in order to elevate a materially absorbed person, a person who cannot understand Krishna properly, they are how to concentrate their minds on physical objects. And by seeing those objects, they can remember Krishna and see how Krishna is manifesting in those physical manifestations is what Arjuna's request was. Right? For this request, Krishna started describing and was in the beginning only Krishna has said, actually, my manifestations are unlimited. My opulence is unlimited, vibhuti, right? Atma vibhutaya nastyanto vistarasya me. They are unlimited. But only I am going to give you some prominent pradhanyatah kurushrestha. Right? Some prominent manifestations I am going to describe to you. So like this, Krishna starts describing. Right? I am the super soul in all the hearts of everybody. I am the beginning, middle, and creation. Beginning, middle, and end of all creations. And this Krishna goes on. Right? So let's continue our discussions from verse 32. We have discussed up to 31st. Okay. So 32nd verse. Sarganam adirantascha madhyam chaivaham arjuna adhyatma vidya vidyanam vadaha pravadatam aham. So Krishna is saying, Sarganam adirantascha. Of all creations, I am the Adi. I am the beginning. I am the Anta. End. And also, I am the middle. Madhyam chaivaham arjuna. So here, specifically Krishna is telling how this material world, when it was manifested, a detailed description of this creation, how creation happens, what are the various aspects of creation is described in Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. In Bhagavad Gita, we only get few indications and some preliminary understanding. This creation is not like how the modern day scientific understanding of there was a chunk and it exploded and creation came about. That is not the philosophy. That is not the understanding. Creation happened in a very systematic manner, right? How it has happened and what are the various steps involved in that is described very nicely, very scientifically in Bhagavatam. So, first of all, Krishna, when there was a need for material creation, he's one of the expansions known as the Purusha Avatara. That avatara is going to lie down in one of the corners of the spiritual sky. And from that avatara, from the body of that avatara, the ingredients required for creation are going to be produced. Right? So the material elements are created from Mahavishnu. Right? And further action, reaction happens, interaction happens of the various elements created and the other aspects by by the by the influence of Lord's glance and Lord's various energies, right? So that is how the creation is described in the Bhagavatam. And other expansions of Krishna, uh, uh, they are known as qualitative incarnations, Gunavataras, Shiva and Brahma. They also are involved in different other aspects of creation. Just like Mahavishnu creates the basic ingredients for creation, Mahat Tattva. And after that, the secondary creation is done by Brahma. The primary creation is, Mahavishnu. Then Brahma, the secondary creation, is maintained by one more expansion of Vishnu known as Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. And everything is again wound up by Lord Shiva. Shiva is again expansion of Vishnu. So like this, various aspects of the different stages of this creation, maintenance and annihilation is carried out by Krishna's own expansions in different stages. So that way, Krishna only is the beginning, Adi, he is Anta, his end also, he is Madhyam also, he is maintaining it also. That way, everything is Krishna only. Right? Just that for various functions, he has expanded in different ways. That's the understanding. Then Krishna says, Adhyatma Vidya Vidyana. Of all the sciences, I am the spiritual science. Very interesting. Because in the 9th chapter, if you can recollect, Krishna said, Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam, Pavitram Idam Uttamam. I am the king of education. This knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, the devotional service described as the king of education. The most secret of all secrets. Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam. So, Adhyatma Vidya Vidyana. There are so many different branches of knowledge, right? But that knowledge which is concerning about Adhyatma Vidya, just like in Bhagavad Gita, originally written by, in Sanskrit, written by Veda Vyasa, towards the end of every chapter it is mentioned, Yoga Shastre Brahma Vidya. This Bhagavad Gita is Yoga Shastra. Yoga Shastra means the science describing about our say connection with the Supreme Lord. Yoga Shastra. Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya means knowledge about spiritual existence. We are spirit souls. That is the beginning knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Brahma Vidya. So Adhyatma Vidya, Brahma Vidya is the same. Adhyatma Vidya, Vidyanam. So this spiritual understanding about our real existence is what the Vedic scriptures is highlighting. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavata, Prabhupada says, the 4 Vedas, Vedanta Sutra, Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam, Gita, they're all concerning about the spiritual science of individual self and the supreme self. Krishna says, I am that knowledge. Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam. So all this is representing Krishna. Later on in 15th chapter, Krishna says, Vedesha Sarvair Ahameva Vedyaha. From all the Vedas, I am to be known. So studying Vedas is not for some academic scholarship or some, oh, I know Vedas. What is the end of Vedas or what is the purpose of knowing Vedas? Krishna says, Krishna should be known. If he is missed out, all your study of Vedas is of no use. Very wonderful understanding. So like this, the Adhyatma Vidya, the soul of this whole understanding of different Vedic literatures is to know Krishna. He is the source of everything. He is the cause and cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karanam. Then Krishna says, Vadaha Pravaratamaham. Krishna is saying, among logicians, logic, tarka, I am conclusive truth. Vadaha Pravaratamaham. Arguments, logic, a lot of debates happen. So the natural conclusion is called Vada. So Prabhupada explains that among the logicians, there are different stages of argument. right? The presentation of evidence is called japa. You see, everything is very, systematically, every branch of knowledge is very systematically organized. That's the point you can see from the Vedic perspective. Tarka, or the logic is a branch of knowledge. It's like today's morning Bhagavatam class you are hearing how Srila Prabhupada wrote a letter to Jawaharlal Nehru in 1950, much before he came to Vrindavan, took up sannyasa. It was in his Grihastha days. So Prabhupada mentioned that I have, by the study of various scriptures from the different spiritual teachers, have understood a very important fundamental knowledge about the spirituality, about the truth of life. Just like the Socrates. Socrates is a great Greek philosopher. He had propounded a very wonderful aspect of analysis, right? Socrates had developed a system of understanding wherein a critical analysis to come to the point of the actual truth, right? Even now it is famous in the circle of philosophical understanding as Socraterian analysis of coming to the proper truth, right? So Prabhupada said, let's like the Socrates theory of analysis should not be restricted to Athens, Greece. It should be known to everybody. If something is scientifically advantageous, some discovery happens, it should be utilized for everybody's benefit. All the world should benefit. So likewise, Prabhupada's point was to Jawaharlal Nehru that let this Vedic understanding, which is so vital, so important, should be known to all over the world. So please help me to propagate this knowledge. See how Prabhupada was so, so nicely he was presenting the whole point that yes, this is how it is. So why I'm mentioning this is how from time immemorial there are great thinkers, philosophers, and personalities who have been developing different types of logic, arguments. Tarko pratishta sutayo vivinna. There's almost statement in Mahabharata. Right? There are many logicians. They all go on debating with each other, but they don't come to any conclusion. Right? So Bhagavatam says the real logical conclusion is hidden in the heart of a pure devotee. Otherwise, you go on having your own logical debate. You are right from your own point of view, and other person is right from his own point of view. Everybody is right. It's like, so nowadays there are so many, groups, parties. Everybody thinks I am right. You are wrong, right? I am right from my side. I have my own logic. So like this, it goes on. So Prabhupada says, among logicians, there are different stages of argument. The presentation of evidence makes that logical presentation more stronger. It is called japa. And attempt to defeat another logician is called vitanda. There was a great debate between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and one scholar by name Kashmiri Pandit. Keshav Kashmiri, right? His name was Keshav Kashmiri. So, actually, that Keshav Kashmiri had come to, as he was already a Digvijay, means he had already won over so many other great scholars across India. He had come to Nadia when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was just a youth, 16 years old youth. So, he wanted to defeat even the scholars in Nadia. So the scholars in Nadia were little afraid that, oh, this logician has come, or rather this big scholar has come. What if we are defeated? The whole fame and name and fame of Nadia will be going for a sixer. So better we put this Nimai Pandit in the front, because after all he's a young boy. Even if he's defeated, we can always say that just a boy, he has defeated. So that was the logic they were using. But debate started between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is Nimai Pandit, and Keshav Kashmiri. Finally, Keshav Kashmiri was defeated. It's again a long story described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Keshav Kashmiri was defeated. Keshav Kashmiri accepted the defeat. So like this, when there is a logical debate, each one will present his logic, another one will present his logic. Like this, earlier there used to be a lot of logical debates like this based on the philosophy, right? Which one is better? So that one side is defeated, you have to accept other person's philosophical understanding or his viewpoint. So that is called attempt to defeat. Another is called vitanda. And the final conclusion is called vada. That's what Krishna is saying is vadaha pravaratam aham. So the final conclusion should be Krishna is the ultimate cause of all causes, and there is no other reason or cause beyond Krishna. That is the final conclusion. Right? That's what Krishna is telling us here. He's saying vadaha pravaratam aham. The final conclusion should be me. Just like Vedesha Sarve Rahameda Vedya. From all the Vedas, I am to be known. Whatever you do from different points of view, different logical conclusions, different logical arguments you have, different philosophical debates you have, finally conclude that Krishna is the cause of all causes. That's the point. So like this, very nicely, Krishna is explaining. See, in one verse, so many aspects Krishna is telling. Next, Krishna says, 33rd verse, Aksharanam akarosmi, dvandvaha samasikasya cha, aham evakshaya kalo, dhataham vishvato mukaha. Aksharanam akarosmi. All of us have studied our vernacular languages. Any language in India has this e, right? So like that, here Krishna says, of the letters in Sanskrit or Hindi, the first letter is what? A. Krishna says, Aksharanam akarosmi. The first letter among the letters is akara, is me. Aksharanam akarosmi. Because without this akara, a letter, nothing can be sounded. Right? That is the beginning of the alphabets. Right? So Krishna says that letter is I am, which means anything which is going to be so vital, so important. Krishna says, I am that. Understand, I am that. And Dvandva Samasika Sita. In grammar, there is a word known as samasa. Samasa means compound words. Right? Prabhupada gives an example here how there is a dual word called Rama Krishna. Dvandva is a samasa. For instance, Rama and Krishna have the same rhythm, and therefore they are called dual. So that there are different dual words in Sanskrit grammar, other language grammars. So that samasa, which is very, very nicely rhyming each other. Krishna says, I am that. Right? Which means every aspect of, actually, in fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was in Nadia, youth, Nimai Pandit, he used to teach grammar, having only Krishna and Krishna's glorification. different words of Krishna's names. He used to teach like that. So the students used to become, what is this he's teaching? But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was, from the beginning, he was so absorbed in Krishna Bhakti that he was just only doing Krishna Varnana. Right? Krishna Varanam, Trisha Krishnam. So like this is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was. So the compound words, Krishna says, I am that. Aham evakshayo kala. I am the inexhaustible time. About time already, Krishna has mentioned in 30th verse. Kalaha kalayatamaham. I am among subduers, I am time. Right? And here, Krishna says, I am the inexhaustible time. So which means indirectly Krishna is telling, I am the killer of everybody. Time is the ultimate killer. Time kills. Right? Krishna Prabhupada says, time is such a power, force, energy of Krishna, kills everything. Nothing is going to stay forever. Whoever we are thinking that is going to stay forever, nothing is going to stay. The big positions, big people, everybody is going to finish in the influence of time. So in that way, Krishna says that eva akshaya, time is going to be eternally existing, but under influence of time, everything is destroyed. Right? Same thing we'll see in the 11th chapter again. Krishna says, Kalosmi lokakshayakrit. As time, I am the destroyer of everything and everyone. Right? So regarding time, Krishna repeatedly says, next verse also Krishna says about time only. Right? So time is representative of Krishna because in due course of time, there will be a great fire and everything will be annihilated. When time comes, everything will, be finished. Just we have to wait for the right time. It's like people say, now we're going through bad time. Time will pass. You get good time. Again, bad time will come. Don't worry. Bad, good. So as long as in the material world, you're under influence of time. When you go to spiritual world, you are beyond time. There's one more, special time known as Leela Kala there in spiritual world, which is not like material world, which is destroying, destructive and annihilating and debilitating. No, it is eternal time. Okay. Next, Krishna says, Dhataham Vishwato Mukha. Brahma, in this universe, he's the chief, right? He's the president, you can say. Among the creators of all the living entities, he's the chief. So, our Brahma is having 4 heads. Because our Brahmanda, our universe, is considered to be the smallest, with 2 billion miles radius. Whereas there are Brahmandas much bigger, many times bigger. Those Brahmas may have 8 heads, or some may have 16 heads, or 100 heads, or 1,000 heads, or 1,000,000 heads. It's like based on the size of the state or the country, the ministry or the number of just like in our country also, based on size of the state, the representation of that state is the number of MPs, member of parliaments are decided, right? Like Uttar Pradesh has maximum number of MPs, around 80 MPs being elected because biggest state. Whereas a small state like Goa may have 3 or 4. So based on the size of the universe, the number of heads of Brahma also are different. You should not have the understanding that Brahma is only having 4 heads. Again, Brahma is a post. He's not a person's name. Person will be different at every given point of time. So this Brahma, our universe, having 4 heads. So this Brahma is also representative of Krishna. Is one of the Guna Avatara, Rajoguna Avatara. Like this, Krishna goes on to say, next 34th verse, very important verse. Mrityu sarva haras chaham udbhavascha bhavishyata kirti shrir vakcha narina smritir medha diti kshama. So here, Krishna is telling that Brahma, he is also all devouring death. Mrityu sarva haras chaham. Somebody may say there is no God. But God, Prabhupada says, you will see God at the time of your death. When you die, you will see God. So here, actually, as soon as you are born, Prabhupada says, your death countdown begins. Material world means you are born, you are subjected to die. So death means just like when you say somebody is 1 year old, means 1 year is passed from his lifespan. So every moment we are approaching death. This is a very important realization. Moment after moment we are approaching death. Chanakya Pandit says, Smara Nitya Anityatam. Should always constantly remember the Anityata, means the temporariness or the fickleness of this existence of ours. It is not Nitya, it is Anityatam. Always understand this body is not going to last forever. Right? It's like today I was reading one quote. Live your life as though you're going to die tomorrow. Right? But learn in a way as though you're going to live forever. Because that is going to be with you. The Gita learning is going to be with you forever. Even after you leave this body. Because whatever you have learned now is not going to be wasted. It's going to be with you as an asset forever. Whatever spiritual progress you have done is a permanent asset for you. If you can somehow come to the level of the realization as Prabhupada is expecting us to come, that is the perfection. Over. Right? So progressively you are moving forward. It's like all of us are coming together every week. We have done some, we have acquired some punya in the previous life. That is continuing. Otherwise, it's not easy. So, this Prabhupada says, every moment we are dying, that last stroke is called death. Final death. That death, Krishna says, I am that. Mrityu sarva haraschaham. When death comes, everything is taken by Krishna. Your wealth, your name, fame, over, everything. One shot, finish. Whatever you are doing, you're jumping, nothing is going to work. Next, Krishna says, Uddhavascha bhavishyatam. I am the generator of all things yet to be. Right? Prabhupada is giving the understanding that like every living entity in the material world is going through 6 transformations, 6 changes. Shad Vikara it is called. You discussed this earlier also in 8th chapter. Every living entity is born, they grow, they remain for some time, they reproduce, then they slowly, they dwindle in their strength and one day vanish. So this is called 6 changes. All of these changes are going on. So, but the beginning stage or the first stage is the birth from the womb of a mother, right? Krishna says that womb of that birth is what I am that. Krishna says death I am. Now he says birth also I am. See how everything Krishna says I am that. When somebody is born, you remember Krishna immediately. Oh, Krishna says I am birth. Somebody is dead in your vicinity or your relatives, you remember, oh, Krishna says I am death. So Krishna wants us to birth, death, every day we are seeing. Right? If you open the news or open the newspaper, you will see only birth and death news. Yeah, this was born, he was born and he is dead. Many times the front page only it comes. Today, he is dead. Anniversary. I should immediately remember Krishna. Right? The way Krishna is telling is, I am death. Krishna has taken away his life. So Krishna says, I am that. That birth also I am that. Then Krishna says, there are 7 opulences which are considered to be feminine. What are they? Kirti. Kirti means fame. Shri. Shri means fortune. Vak means good speech. Smriti means memory. Medha, intelligence. Dhriti, faithfulness or determination. And Kshama is called patience. These are all wonderful qualities which when a person is having them, then he appears to be, or rather he becomes very glorious, Prabhupada says. They are called feminine characteristics. Right? And especially Prabhupada says, woman possesses all of them, or even some of them. Woman is considered to be very glorious. Prabhupada says how? Smriti means what? Smriti means just knowing few things, so important things in Bhagavad Gita and recalling them and using those, whatever you understood right time, is called memory, good memory, smriti. Right? You have good intelligence, means you're able to analyze things in a proper perspective. It's called intelligence. So that you are very determined to take forward your spiritual life. So like this, these are the wonderful symptoms found in a personality who wants to move forward in his spiritual progress. So Krishna says all these qualities represent him. See how nicely Krishna is describing. Right? All of them, all of these qualities are something which all of us have to aspire for. Kirti, Shri, Vak, Smriti, Medha, Diti, Kshama. Right? And when you perform devotion, all of this Krishna bestows upon us. These qualities. Next. Brihat Samaradha Samnam Gayatri Chandasamaham Masanam Marga Shishoham Rutunam Kusumakaraha. So here Krishna is mentioning about Brihat Sama Tatha Samnam, which means there's a Vedic hymn in the Samaveda known as Brihat Sama. If you remember, in the verse number 22, Krishna had mentioned Vedanam Samavedosmi. Right? Vedanam Samavedosmi. So, already Krishna has said, among the Vedas I am Samaveda. And in the Samaveda, Krishna is telling, I am Brihat Sama. And what is this Brihat Sama? This Samaveda is actually having very beautiful songs played by various devatas. And one of these songs is called Brihat Sama, which has an exquisite melody, Prabhupada says. Very, very wonderful melody. And it's sung at the midnight. Just see what all devatas are experiencing. From the Vedic literatures, they are singing the Samavedas, one specific portion known as Brihat Sama. And they are, and it has a very specific melody, exquisite melody, which devatas sing in the midnight. Okay. Which means how art, music, so all so much of, has so much of relevance in our spiritual life. Gayatri Chandasamaham. Chandasa means Prabhupada says poetry. Among the poetry, I am the Gayatri mantra. Right? So what is Gayatri? Prabhupada explains. Because the Sanskrit poetry is not simply, like the modern day poetry, wherein there is no proper systematically disciplined way. There are some rules being followed. Prabhupada says it's not whimsical, right? There is a proper rhyme and proper meter. If you see these verses of Gita also, it is so systematic. It is so, rhyme is there, and so proper, there's the proper meter. Meter means when you chant, is a particular way you can chant that. It is sounding very, very nice, right? That is called meter. So in that way, this is how the poetry is written in the Sanskrit, or is composed in Sanskrit. It's having a lot of regulations in that way, not simply written like that. So among this poetry, Gayatri mantra is considered to be the highest, and Krishna says it is him only. And Prabhupada says Gayatri mantra is very important in the Vedic civilization, and it is the sound incarnation of Brahman, sound incarnation of Brahman. Brahman means supreme absolute truth. So it is explained in the Brahma Samhita by Brahma himself how this Gayatri mantra he has got initiated. From Krishna's flute, the sound emanating from Krishna's flute, it entered the ears of Brahma, and that sound entered his heart, and that's how he got initiated. And Brahma further passed down this mantra down the disciplic succession, right? And this Gayatri mantra, when you have properly situated and qualified to chant that mantra, if you chant this mantra, then Prabhupada says, by chanting this mantra, you will be able to relieve yourself from this material world and go back to spiritual world. Enter into the transcendental position of the Lord. And this mantra is specifically meant for spiritually advanced people. And attaining success in chanting it, you can enter into the transcendental position of the Lord. In fact, even Hare Krishna mantra also will take you to that same position. Chanting Hare Krishna mantra doesn't require qualification. Anybody can chant, and it has the same effect. It is a special mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gayatri mantra requires qualification. What is the qualification? You have to come to the platform of mode of goodness, Sattva Guna. Otherwise, chanting Gayatri mantra will not have effect. That is how the Vedic mantras are. Whereas Hare Krishna mantra, whatever stage you are, doesn't matter. It is so powerful, it will lift you and bring you to the platform of pure goodness. That is the difference. It is about Gayatri mantra. Then Krishna says next, Masana Marga Shirsoham. According to the Vedic calendar, there are 12 masas or 12 months, just like Chaitra Masa, Vaishakha Masa, Jyeshta Masa. So here Krishna is specifically telling that month known as Marga Shirsha. Marga Shirsha is now November, December. Okay. So this November, December is called Marga Shirsha. And specifically this month, Krishna says, I am that month. It is considered to be best of all months, Prabhupada says. Why? Because in this month, in India especially, grains are collected from the fields and people are very happy. The weather is very pleasant, right? That's how it is. So this month, Marga Shirsha month, Krishna says, I am that. The next, what is going to come is December, January is Paush Mas. Cold will intensify. Then Magha Mas. Then Falguna Mas. Like this, in Sanskrit, there are 12 months, just like we have January, February in English. In Sanskrit, there are 12 months being described. And next, Krishna says, Rutunam Kusumakaraha. According to Vedic calendar, there are 6 Rutus or 6 seasons. Right? So the Kusumakara means the season where there are flowers blooming. Vasanta Masa is called Kusumakara. Vasanta Masa is the month during March to May, right? Wherein there is a lot of flowers and trees. All the trees and the plants are all blooming with flowers. And it's very wonderful. In English it is called spring season. A lot of Krishna's Leelas are performed during this time. And then, so it is very, Krishna says, I am that month. Very beautiful, colorful month. Colorful, season. Just like there is a summer season, right? It is called Grishma Masa. Then the rainy season is called Varsha. Rutu, not Masa, Rutu. Grishma Rutu, Varsha Rutu. Then there is autumn season known as Sharad Rutu. Right? Then there is Hemanta Rutu, winter. Now what's going on now, right? Hemanta Rutu, and then further Shishira Masa, very cold season will start. Then Vasanta Masa will come. After the cold, Vasanta Masa will come. Like this, there are 6 Ritus, seasons, described in the Vedic scriptures. Krishna says, amongst the months, I am November, December, Marga Shirsha, Marga Shirsha. And among the Ritus, seasons, I am Vasanta Masa. Just see how nicely Krishna is telling everything. Next, 36th verse. Dyutam chalayatam asmi, tejas tejasvinam aham, jayosmi vyavasayosmi, sattvam sattvatam aham. Dyutam. Dyuta means gambling. So Prabhupada says, amongst all the different types of cheating, gambling stands supreme. Right? Cheating means gambling, a lot of scope for cheating. And Krishna says that I am that cheating. Yes, see, even amongst the most, you can say from social perspective, material perspective, oh, cheating also, Krishna is highest cheater. Yes, he's the topmost cheater. Right? So Krishna, Prabhupada says, yes, as Krishna is supreme, he can be more deceitful than anyone, any mere man. If anybody thinks I am more intelligent than Krishna, Krishna is your creator. He can be more deceitful than you. Just like the example of Narsimhadev appearance happened. Hiranyakashipu was thinking he's very intelligent. He has benediction from Brahma. That I should not die on the land, on the water, on the sky, any animal, any weapon, this. So many indirectly is asking benediction that I want to be Amara or immortal. But Lord Narsimha appeared in a way that he fulfilled all the promises of Brahma and appeared in a way which that demon couldn't even imagine this form. He appeared as a half man, half lion, and he killed not with the weapon, with the nails. So you cannot cheat Krishna, right? So in that way, he is the most, Prabhupada says, if Krishna chooses to deceive a person, no one can surpass him in his deceit. He can be the biggest cheater. There is a nice song written by one of the acharyas. It's called Chorashtaka. Krishna is considered to be the thief or the chora. Right? Very nice song. I think if you can get in the net easily, I'll just see if I can get that. Anyway, so it is a very wonderful song wherein it is being mentioned how Krishna is the greatest thief. He steals your heart only. Right? That way, he can be the greatest cheater, greatest thief. But all those things, all those aspects of Krishna being a thief or Krishna being a cheater is a pastime for the devotees. Right? So his greatness is not only one-sided, Prabhupada says, it is all-sided. This is the wonderful aspect of Krishna. You cannot get away from Krishna. How Prabhupada gives different examples in a lecture. When in Kurukshetra war, Karna's chariot, while fighting, it just sunk down for some reason. And Karna he got down from chariot and was about to lift his chariot wheels. Krishna said, Arjuna, shoot him, kill him. Arjuna was surprised. Krishna, he's just getting his chariot up. Let us wait. No. Now you shoot him. Right? So it looks very immoral. But Krishna's direction was, because Krishna knew all the background of Karna, what all he has done previously. So Krishna said, this is the opportunity, you kill him. Otherwise, Krishna knew Karna was more powerful than Arjuna. He could not be defeated. Right? So likewise, Krishna also advised Yudhisthira Maharaj, you tell Dronacharya that his son is dead. Ashwathama is dead. Tell a lie. Yudhisthira Maharaj first hesitated. But with great hesitation, later on he agreed, and actually one elephant by name Ashwathama had died. So, he told Ashwathama, elephant has died. Right? So Dronacharya would not, surrender, or he would not be defeated unless Dronacharya hears that his son Ashwathama is dead. It was an emotional situation for Dronacharya, so that is how they could kill Dronacharya. So all these tricks Krishna has used. Right? So looks like Krishna is cheated. No, when it comes from Krishna, it is all morality is there in that. That's why Krishna says, later on we'll see, when it is Krishna's directions, highest morality. So Tejasvinam aham. The Tejas, all that the splendor, the glory, the magnificence which comes from Krishna is something very great. Is wonderful aspects is great. Prabhupada says, no one can surpass him in cheating. No one can surpass him in splendor. 5 things Krishna says here. One is cheating. Nobody can surpass him in cheating. You may think that, I'll cheat Krishna. I am chanting and also sleeping Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. While chanting, I am getting sleep. But Krishna is watching. Okay, as much as you are chanting, that much only you will get benefit. If you are fully attentively chanting, you will get the benefit. You will get Krishna. So getting Krishna is not easy. Right? Krishna knows what level of devotion we are doing. That's the point. No one can surpass him in cheating. No one can surpass him in splendor. No one can surpass him in victory. When Krishna was personally present in his Leelas, nobody could defeat him. Ajaya he was. Ajita. Right? Nobody could defeat him. No one can surpass him in his adventure, enterprise. Adventure means very daring, very daunting task. Right? Very great. We see many great green demons, Bakasura, Aghasura, impossible to kill them. Such demons Krishna killed. So he's adventurous. All his pastimes are adventurous. Krishna says, I am the Vyavasayosmi, Jayosmi, Vyavasayosmi. Then Sattvam Sattvatamaham, I am the, no one can surpass his strength. Right? So like this, Krishna says, I am all powerful, I am very enterprising, I am always victorious, I am the splendid of the splendor, I am the topmost cheater. Right? 5 things Krishna mentions here. Next, 37th verse. Vrishninam Vasudevosmi Pandavanam Dhananjaya Muninam Apyaham Vyasaha Kavinam Ushana Kavihi. So among the Vrishnis, Vrishni is a dynasty in which Krishna took birth. Krishna says, he is that original personality, Vasudeva. Krishna also known as Vasudeva. So Krishna was the descendant of Vishnu dynasty. Among the Vishnus, I am Vasudeva. Among the Pandavas, the great devotees of Krishna, in that also Arjuna is considered to be very dear to Krishna. Pandavanam Dhananjaya. Muninam apyaham Vyasaha. Muni means, first Prabhupada says, learned person who is conversant in Vedic knowledge, well versed in Vedic knowledge, is called a Muni. So Vyasadeva is considered to be the greatest Muni because he is able to explain, or he explained all the Vedic knowledge for our understanding. He compiled all of them for our use in a very systematic manner. In fact, Bhagavatam explains how the Vedas were divided into 4 parts, and further it was explained in a very systematic manner for our understanding. For the common mass of people, age of Kali, Vyasadeva explained that. So among all the Munis, great thinkers, Vyasadeva is considered to be Krishna's representative or Krishna's incarnation. Kavina Ushana Kavihi. This word Kavi means a great thinker, a great poet, as Prabhupada says, capable of thinking thoroughly on any subject matter. Kavi means one is capable of thinking thoroughly on any subject matter, right? So about Kavi, we have also heard in 8th chapter, right? Krishna explains how we should meditate on him in verse number 9, right? Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram. First word Krishna uses Kavim. One who knows everything, right? So here Kavi means one who is capable of thinking on any subject matter thoroughly, very deeply. That is known as Kavi. So amongst these personalities, among different human beings who are able to thoroughly deliberate on a subject matter and see all the pros and cons, Shukracharya is considered to be topmost thinker, right? So among the Kavis, Ushana, this Shukracharya is the spiritual master of the demons. Why? Because he was extremely intelligent, as Prabhupada says. He was far-sighted, and he was political and spiritual, and both spiritually, politically, in all the ways he used to think and strategize for the demons. Shukracharya was that way very intelligent, highly intelligent. So Krishna says, I am that personality. Yes, see. So Krishna has not left anybody. Next, Krishna says, Dando damayatam asmi, niti rasmi jigishatam, maunam chaivasmi, guhyanam, jnanam jnanavatam aham. See how Krishna is telling about different personalities, different qualities, different aspects of various things which we are experiencing in our day-to-day life. Here Krishna is telling, Dando damayatam asmi. Among punishments, I am the rod of chastisement, Krishna says. Dando damayatam asmi. Right? So, a lot of lawlessness is happening and nobody is listening to what is going on. What happens? The police just comes and starts charging them. That danda, chastisement, rod of chastisement. Krishna says, I am that. Right? When people are not submissive, not listening, then dandam dashagunam. Only when you have danda only, then people will listen. So Krishna says, I am that. Only when danda happens, then there will be damana. So Krishna says, I am that danda. All the sama, bheda didn't work. Then finally danda. Then niti rashmi jikishatam. Krishna says, those always morality wins, right? Any field, if you want to be successful, not that by cheating you will win. Today you may win, but in the long run, if you see what is really truthful or going in the right path, honesty, morality wins. So Krishna says, when by morality you win, that is what I am, that morality, Krishna says. Niti rasmi jigishatam. Right. Then amongst the confidential things, secret things, guhyanam, Krishna says, I am silence. Very important. Because generally, if you see, Somebody would have, your neighbor or your close friend would have told you, don't tell this to anybody. This is what it is. Then you will go and come and tell your, family, don't tell this to anybody. That don't tell has become known to everybody, right? Better is keep quiet with yourself. If something, has to be secret, maunam, right? This is what Krishna is telling us here. Among the confidential activities of hearing, thinking, meditating, silence is important because by silence one can make progress very quickly. Silence both externally and internally. One is, if you go on, talking, no sense. That is also not good. Internally also mind is, going everywhere. Actually, when you are chanting, you are supposed to silence your mind and only listen to Hare Krishna. Right? That's how it is. Otherwise, mind is going on chatting. Then where is the point? You are doing the highest activity of offering chanting to Krishna. It does not happen with quality. It's the maunam chaivasmi guhyanam jnanam jnanavatamaham. So Krishna says, I am the wisdom in the wise. What is the highest wisdom? Prabhupada says, one who can discriminate between matter and spirit. This is what Krishna explained as wisdom in the very beginning of Gita. Second chapter, 11th verse, if you see, what did Krishna say? Ashocha nanvashochastam pragyavadamsha vashase gatasu nagatasumsha nanushochandi pandit. Arjuna was speaking like a great pandit and trying to put forward his different arguments that Krishna, we should not fight, we should not do that, we should not do this. But Krishna said, you are speaking like a great learned man. Your learning and your panditya, your scholarship is of no use. Actually, real wisdom is what? Real knowledge is distinguishing between spirit and matter. Between Krishna's superior and inferior energies. So this knowledge is about Krishna. Krishna says here. So that knowledge about me is what you should know finally. Then Krishna says in 39th verse, Yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna nadadasti vina yatsyan maya bhutam characharam. Further Krishna says, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. Right? Anything you see, if there is any cause for that, I am the root of that. About this Krishna has explained in 7th chapter. Right? Bijam mam sarva bhutanam. Like this. So like this, many things already Krishna has explained. Here again, he's sort of reiterating those things. So anything has a reason here to be exist means is Krishna, because of Krishna. Without Krishna's energy, nothing can exist, Prabhupada says. Natadasti vinayatsyan maya bhutam characharam. There is no being moving or unmoving that can exist without me, which means everything is Krishna's energy. Everything is resting on Krishna's energy. Right? Like this chara achara was to Krishna explained in 9th chapter also. Maya adhyakshana prakriti suyate sacharacharam. So, like this, Krishna has been telling that everything in the material world is his energy, and everything is resting on his energy. There's nothing beyond that. If you think there's anything beyond that, that is Maya. It's only in your mind, right? If something is that is not in Krishna, means it is all in your mind only. It is illusion. That's the point. So here Krishna is again sort of concluding in this 39th verse that whatever you see as existence in the material world is all emanating from him, and everything is existing on his energy. Okay. Then verse number 40. Nantosti mama divyanam vibhutinam parantapa esha tuddeshatah prokto vibhuter vistaro maya. Now Krishna is again repeating the same thing what he mentioned in 20th verse. Right? 20th verse, what did he say? He said that, not 19th verse. Krishna said that my opulences are unlimited. 19th verse he said that. Nantosti vistarasya me. Atma vibhuteya, they are all unlimited opulences. Vibhutis are there. I'm only going to tell you prominent ones. Again, he's telling, O mighty conqueror of enemies, Parantapa, There is no end to my divine manifestations. Nantosyama divyanam. My opulences, my vibhutis are unlimited. What I have spoken to you is a mere indication of my infinite opulences. Like a tip of an iceberg, what I have spoken to you. Right? So basically, Arjuna was inquisitive. He wanted to know. So Krishna started speaking. He immediately, in beginning only he has told, important things only I will tell you, not everything. Now again he is reiterating the point. What I have told you is just a small fraction of it. From this you can understand the complete picture. Little aspects. Just like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, many places it is mentioned. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's leelas are unlimited. Only few are described, or rather few are captured in the scriptures. Just with those few pastimes, you can understand how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's various other leelas would have happened. Because every aspect of the leela, if you go on describing, it is impossible. When Lord Ananta is describing Krishna's pastimes from time immemorial, it is said he has just begun describing. That is Lord's pastimes, unlimited, unending. Right? So likewise, Krishna is telling, my opulences, my glories, my energies are all unlimited. Right? There is no limit to all these things. Krishna means he is unlimited. Ananta. So, what I have described is only a sample. From the sample, you can understand how it will be whole. It's like a trailer. Krishna has given a trailer for us. Next, Krishna says very wonderfully in 41st verse, Yadyad vibhutimat sattvam Srimad urjitameva va tattad evava gachatvam mama tejomsha sambhavam. Very wonderfully he's telling that all that beautiful, all the glorious, all the mighty creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Very nice. Whatever you see, wonderful, glorious, many things Krishna has not described. Oh, it's a beautiful, scenic destination, nice big, hill. Everything is Krishna only. Finally, that's what Krishna wants to say. He has given some indications, but from this description we can understand. In Bhagavatam we get many such descriptions again. So Krishna says that all the beautiful, all the glorious, all the mighty creations spring from a spark of my splendor. You see how nicely Krishna is telling. Teja amsha sambhavaha. Teja means again splendor. Amsha means a spark. It's like from a huge fire, a spark of fire comes out. That spark only is looking so beautiful. What about the huge fire? That's what it is. So basically Krishna is trying to tell us that anything which is having extraordinary beauty, extraordinary its opulence, in whatever it is representing Krishna only. When somebody is very talented, you should immediately relate, the talent is Krishna's given, Krishna given talent. Somebody is having some skill, Krishna given skill. Somebody is able to sing very well, Krishna has gifted him. So everything, anybody, any power, any opulence, any wonderful, extraordinary aspect in any personality should immediately connect it to Krishna. That's what Krishna want to tell us here. Now in the last verse, Krishna says very nicely, he concludes, Athava bahunaitena kim jnatena tavarjuna vishtabhyaham idam krishnam ekam shena sthito jagat. He says, there is no need, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge. There is no need. Basically, with my one of the expansions as super soul, I am pervading and supporting this entire cosmic universe. Let's see. And not even Krishna personally present, it is his one of the expansions. Right? Krishna is expanded as Baladeva. Baladeva further expands into second Chaturvyuha. Then from that, Purusha avatars come like this, very, expansions which has come out after many, many levels. That expansion itself is so glorious. What about Krishna? How wonderful and how glorious he must be. So, so basically what Krishna is telling us here is that you did not separately understand that opulence, this grandeur or this splendor. You should understand that everything finally is is because Krishna's one expansion known as Paramatma, Super Soul, has entered into that. That's how it's become very glorious. This whole universe is existing. So, Prabhupada says very nicely, from Brahma down to the ant, all are existing here or sustained here or maintained here by Krishna's energy only. There is nothing beyond Krishna. There's a Vedic statement called Sarvam Khalo Idam Brahma. So Prabhupada is concluding towards the end of this purport, we're telling that how Krishna doesn't encourage worship of devatas or they are separate from Krishna. That is wrong understanding. At least from the reading of this chapter properly, understanding this chapter, we can understand. Krishna says, devatas also come from him. Everybody is coming from him. All are dependent on him. All are existing in him. So worshipping Krishna is what Krishna is recommending in this chapter, right? So if anybody thinks, oh, devatas are different, they have different powers, Prabhupada says that person is immediately considered to be an atheist, pashandi. Yastu Brahma Rudradi Devata Samad Vikshena Pashandi Sabhavet. Like this, there's a Vedic statement. So, Prabhupada says, if one thoroughly studies the different descriptions of the opulences and expansions of Krishna's energy, then one can understand without any doubt the position of Lord Sri Krishna and can fix his mind in the worship of Krishna without deviation. That was the purpose of this whole chapter. The more Prabhupada, if you remember in one of the earlier verses of this chapter, Prabhupada said, just telling God is great is at one level okay, but understanding the details of his greatness will fix your mind more firmly in Krishna's devotion. That's what Krishna wanted to give this lesson to all of us, right? When you thoroughly study the different descriptions and opulences of Krishna, right, of Krishna's energy, then without any doubt, we can understand Lord Krishna, Krishna's position, and our mind will be more fixed up. Anything, any knowledge about any specific aspect, no, that will more give you the conviction, yes, this is how it is. Without any doubt, you will be having so strong conviction. Your background understanding will be so strong. So reading these chapters, 10th chapter onwards, is going to further make your conviction strong. Determination to perform devotion to Krishna strong. That's the idea. Right? How one can attain the highest devotional perfection of association with Supreme Lord has been thoroughly explained in this chapter. Prabhupada concludes. How one can attain the highest devotional perfection of association. What does association mean? You should be able to relate with Krishna. Oh, this is how Krishna is. Not simply formality. It is with feeling, as Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam prabodhate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava. Bhava. Bhava means that feeling of ecstasy. It is not simply superficial aspect. It is, as Krishna repeatedly says, Preeti Purvakam. Many words like this Krishna uses in this chapter. So basically, Krishna is trying to give us the understanding of how to reach the highest devotional perfection of association with Krishna. That has been thoroughly explained in this chapter. Okay, so this concludes this under our discussion on this chapter. So I will stop here. Anybody has anything to ask, discuss specifically, we can take up. Any doubts or questions, clarifications?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. In this chapter, text 35, the Lord mentions that he is the Gayatri mantra.
Okay.
But we also understand from the purport that lot of qualification is needed to chant this mantra. But still in today's world, we find people conducting that Upanayanam ceremony for their small boys, 5 years, 7 years, 9 years, like that. So is this going to have spiritual advancement in the true sense?
See, if that is it is being followed in a proper sampradaya and lineage as per the scriptural directions, and after taking the initiation, that particular person who is taking the initiation is following all the rules, it will have. Provided you follow. Not simply for sake of doing it as a formality you do, and you don't follow. There's no point. It has relevance. See, everything, all the Vedic rules, regulations has relevance. Why those, as a custom, it is still there in the families, as a tradition, it is going on. But thing is, people are taking it as only one ritual, mostly. In spirit, they are not following it. That's why in ISKCON, in Hare Krishna movement, what happens is, Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur Maharaj, he understood all these traditional, practices of the Smarta Brahmins, who are very orthodox with regard to following, these rituals, especially in South India. You see Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra, a lot of orthodox, they follow. And there are families, of course, who strictly follow. Not that they're not following, but there are also people who just, as a matter of formality, they do and they don't follow. So the whole thing is, in the Vedic way of life is, Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj, he set up this because Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj didn't want to restrict all the benefits of the various Vedic traditions for only one class of people who are known as Brahmin by birth. Right? That is how the whole, the caste system had begun in India because of this, Brahmin community means one community only. We have to be born in that community, and by birth, we belong to that caste. This understanding was totally dismantled by Prabhupada and all the acharyas, Siddhanta Thakur Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, by the Vedic references, by Bhagavatam reference, that actually everybody can be raised to the level of Brahmana. And Vedic scriptures say a Vaishnava is the best Brahmana. Means above Brahmana, the next highest level is Vaishnava. So the point is, when you when you are only concerned with regard to the different rituals, different traditions, and just don't take them in the right spirit for what purpose you are doing it, then you will become a niyamagraha. As Rupa Goswami says, just for the sake of following it, that doesn't make you advance in your spiritual life. As Prabhupada very clearly says here, when you are properly chanting this Gayatri mantra, you can enter into transcendental position of the Lord. That is the purpose. Right? But if you are not able to even understand what is Lord, what is the point of even going to the transcendental position of the Lord? You're still in the Jiva Bhuta platform. You're supposed to come to Brahma Bhuta platform. Right? We can see in second chapter, very nicely, Prabhupada is explaining about one Acharya by name Madhavendra Puri in verse number 52 in the second chapter, wherein that verse Krishna says that when your intelligence has passed out of the dense delusion of dense forest of delusion, you shall become indifferent to all that has been heard and all that is to be heard. Which means when you know that all these various rituals, all these purposes, finally are supposed to be giving me Krishna Bhakti. So then all the other rules, regulations you are following, and even then you don't come to Krishna Bhakti. What is the point? So this Acharya, Madhavendra Puri, who is actually the grand spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his one realization is being explained by Prabhupada in the purport. He says how my prayers 3 times a day, Sandhya Vandana, Bhadramasto. I don't want to do any Sandhya Vandana now. People do Sandhya Vandana 3 times, no? Sandhya, Trisandhya. I don't want to Sandhya Vandana. Or bathing. Goodbye to you. Oh, Devatas, oh, forefathers, all that I have to offer some Pitru Tarpana, goodbye to you. See, as a in a Vedic culture, a householder who is following all the rules, regulations, is supposed to follow this. Sandhya Vandana, bathing 3 times a day, then offering oblations to forefathers, demigods. So like this, many, many things he is supposed to follow. But this Acharya is telling, now that I know Krishna, worshipping you is the highest. all these formalities of doing all these things, it hardly has no relevance for me. It's a very high level of devotional service. Right? So, Prabhupada says, the Vedic rules and regulations are imperative for neophytes, comprehending all these various rules like 3 times prayers you have to do, offer, taking part in the morning, offering respect to forefathers. But when one is engaged in Krishna consciousness or transcendental service, one becomes indifferent to all these regulative principles because already has attained perfection. It's like telling somebody has passed the post graduation in a particular subject matter. If you again tell him you go through the primary class study, no relevance for him. Already he knows that. He has surpassed that. Or one more example Prabhupada gives: if you are having 1 crore rupee, in that only 10 rupees is there, 100 rupees is there, 1 lakh also. That's the idea. Yes, for people who are not following anything, at least these rules regulations will bring them to a level of that spiritual understanding. But if they only practice it as a matter of formality, it will not have any relevance. If it can be properly done as a matter of with the proper spirit, then it has relevance. That's the point. So it is important that we in society try to expose or give people this understanding of what the scriptures are telling, what Bhagavad Gita is telling. At least they understand. So like all of us were all born as Hindus. We were never exposed to such understanding of what is Bhagavad Gita or teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Right? It's only through Prabhupada's teaching that we're able to understand, appreciate these things. Correct? Yes, see how it is so unfortunate in our society. We were all trying to be religious, trying to be very up to date Hindus, trying to be very much following rules, but we didn't have the proper spirit of what we are doing. Right? So like this, if it is only remaining as some rituals, some formalities, some traditions, okay, Ganesha Puja comes every year, we'll do something. But what for you're doing that? Why you're doing that? That proper background understanding is not there, and don't have that. That's why Prabhupada says always the background knowledge should be able to execute the foreground activities in a meaningful way. So Prabhupada has given that background understanding, very clear understanding of what are you doing, why you should worship Krishna, what are these various devatas, what relevance they have in our life. So many aspects. The scriptures are complete and perfect. Just that it has to be presented in a way that we understand, we appreciate. It is what Prabhupada has done for us. That is his contribution
Yes, Prabhu.
to the organization of ISKCON and the books which he has given us in a very systematic manner. All of us who are totally ignorant of so many things, we didn't have respect or we didn't have proper value for our own systems. Right? So we are having that appreciation and value now. Oh, this our culture is so close to our soul. We're able to appreciate that.
Very true, Prabhuji.
Correct, no? That is the transformation which Prabhupada has brought in our understanding. At least for me personally, I was also born and as in a family, so many things were going on. I also had my own perspective of what is religion, how it should be, and the influence of modern day media, modern day other aspects. It's all distracting and disturbing us, right? So that's how it is.
That is true for all of us, Prabhuji.
All
We
of
were
us.
all in that ignorant stage.
So Prabhupada has saved us in one way, giving us the right
Yes.
understanding.
Yes.
In fact, whole Bhagavad Gita, if you carefully study again and again, Prabhupada is reiterating the point that don't worry about all these rules, regulations, because even if you want to follow, you cannot follow in this Kali Yuga. You just follow Krishna conscious principles of chanting Hare Krishna, 16 rounds, following 4 regulative principles, and leading a very simple life of reading Bhagavad Gita and offering food to Krishna every day. That is going to take care of everything else. That's what Prabhupada want to say. In ISKCON, we have a system which Prabhupada and his Guru Maharaj has set up. that yes, when devotees are moving forward in the spiritual life, first is we are given the first initiation called the Harinama Diksha, right? Wherein you go take a vow of chanting 16 rounds every day, whole life. Then after that, at one specific time, after say year or two, once you are developed those sattva guna qualities, brahminical qualities. Brahminical qualities means mind control, sense control, right? You're little becoming aware or familiar with the scriptural understanding. All these things come up. Then you are given second initiation. That is called Gayatri initiation. Because you are qualified. Or without qualification you take, then what is the point? Just like somebody has not even studied medicine, you make him a doctor. What he will be, just imagine. He will not treat everybody. He will, kill everybody, right? So that's what you do. That is the disaster situation right now. So the traditions have just become a formality in the name only, and with no proper understanding. Then what is the use? Just like this, there are so many abnormalities in society, which is all become sort of a pain in societies, moving forward in the spiritual journey. That's the point. Prabhupada fought against them. Actually, there were so many, the Orthodox Brahmins in Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj time also opposed all these things, but they all vehemently fought against it. Prabhupada and his Guru Maharaj fought against them. Otherwise, no, they are thinking they're all in their comfort zone. Oh, we are all Brahmins, we are all Goswamis, we have that right. Prabhupada is not a birthright, it has to be acquired by qualification. A doctor's son will not become doctor automatically. He has to go to college, he has to go to medical college, he has to acquire necessary qualifications, he has to qualify himself. So Brahmana is a qualification, not a caste. That we have to understand. So many traditions in that way are just as a formality. It is happening by birthright, by birth. That's the problem.
Yes.
Okay, these are all anomalies. But what others are doing right now, let us not be worried.
Yes.
Let us worry about ourselves. Right, ourselves, what we are doing. Let us see. But yes, as a matter of fact, these are all things. At least we are able to see what is the fact, what is the truth in them. By
Yes.
Prabhupada's mercy. Right. We see things, and also we try to conduct ourselves in a way that we'll become an example. That's what Krishna says in 3rd chapter. Don't disrupt the minds of people too attached.
Yes.
But you conduct yourself in a way that they see you as an example and follow you. Right. Nevertheless, all those good souls, when they come in contact with Prabhupada's movement through his books or through his devotees, they also will transform. It's a matter of time. Okay, fine, good.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other clarification? Okay. So let's close now. Thank you, everybody. We have completed the 10th chapter today on 20th December. Okay, of 2024. So we'll begin with the 11th chapter next session onwards.
Universal form.
Universal form. Vishwarup. Actually, this 11th chapter is an extension of 10th chapter only. Nonsense. Okay, now Krishna only explained about his opulences. Now Krishna wants to see practically. So it has Krishna, you show me your opulences. And Krishna shows me. So very wonderful description. We'll see in the next session onwards. So thank you, everybody. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.